Intro. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're diving into the major red flags you cannot ignore in a relationship. These phrases might seem harmless at first, but trust me, they carry deeper meanings that can lead to manipulation, wasted time, and emotional damage. So, if you've ever been unsure whether to stay or go, pay close attention. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly when to cut your losses and walk away with confidence. When it comes to ladies, they are in the face. Is it a fear of loneliness or blind optimism? Or maybe it's the persistent notion that, whatever the reason, you can fix her. Ignoring these red flags will definitely. Flags can bring you less joy and self-worth, and occasionally even your sanity. Now let's get contentious. Not all women are entitled to, actually, your time, effort, or attention. Some females may openly reveal to you who, through their words, they say, yes, you. Yes, what she said is true. They are not subtle clues or enigmatic actions that are audacious, indisputable claims that I'm not the proper person for you, so shout. Let me tell you, gentlemen, if you don't. When a woman reveals herself to you, pay attention. You're positioning yourself to relationships involving heartbreak are not charitable. You're not here to save someone, and you're working out of their own poisonous mentality. There's nothing noble about remaining when the wall already has the writing on it. The worst part is that some males hear these things and persuade themselves that it's simply a stage or a misunderstanding. These claims are truths. They are not fads regarding her identity, and how she perceives you and how she will handle you when you leave is not about cruelty. Rather, it's about, in order to protect yourself, we're gonna dissect the 5 most things that women can say that are dangerous, should cause you to stop, reflect, and finally, let these words alone. Frequently disregarded as being of little importance deal, but believe me, they're really red. Warning signs. And if you're sincere about preserving your mental tranquility and establishing a life with the appropriate individual, then being aware of when to leave is a skill you need to learn. So fasten your seatbelt. Is more than simply relationship advice. This movie is about safeguarding your honor, your value, and your prospects. I'm not sure if I should, but let's get started. Even though you may find this statement innocuous at first glance, after all, everyone experiences periods of uncertainty. When a woman tells you that it's a giant, and I'm not sure if I even like you, warning sign that you can't afford disregard the reason, since it indicates a lack of interest and respect that can only result in to cause emotional harm if you continue to think about a relationship, regardless of how. Whether new or existing, it should be built upon clarity, shared effort, and curiosity. When someone freely acknowledges I'm not sure if they even like you, displaying your position inside there. This type of life on the back burner statement is frequently made by someone who's emotionally incompetent or simply dragging you around till something better arrives. And if you're listening this from her, it isn't your responsibility to persuade her that you're not a salesman attempting to seal a deal. You are a valuable man, and if she is unable to realize that her loss, not yours, is now. Let's examine in more detail what this type of statement actually refers to. Ladies who claim that this is either a test of your readiness to remain in spite of the disrespectfully retaining you as a choice while they investigate others, disclosing their lack of sincere concern for you. I'm hoping you'll finally get the hint. The truth persists after hearing this only makes you feel worse. Confidence. You'll find yourself continually interpreting her words too closely, doubting your value and making an effort to win her love. But this is the sad truth, that a woman who genuinely values and you will never earn respect. Feel unsure of her feelings. Consider this situation. You are out on a date and everything appears to be proceeding as planned. Okay then, she suddenly exclaims, You chuckle, and I'm not sure if I like you at all, anxiously uncertain about how to react, yet in your thoughts begin to race. What did I make a mistake, or am I inadequate? In actuality, you did nothing improper. The issue is either her incapacity or unwillingness to acknowledge your value as a high-value man is aware of that relationships flourish when both parties put forth effort. And honor the moment when someone publicly wonders whether they even like you. Now is the moment to leave. Don't fight. Attempt to persuade her otherwise, and definitely don't waste your time attempting to demonstrate. Instead, respectfully end the talk and proceed with your dignity unharmed. A lady who values you won't have to determine whether she'll make it if she knows she likes you, evident from her words and deeds. Keep in mind that your time and effort are priceless. Don't throw them away on someone who doesn't see your value. You're too excellent for me, first favorable to me. This could seem flattering. You might even, when a woman compliments you, you feel flattered. Too nice for me, but allow me to interrupt. This is hardly a compliment, right there. It's a warning that can be dangerous when, according to a lady, she isn't lifting you. She is establishing an emotional detachment. Her method of communicating with you is, she acknowledges that she doesn't feel like placing in an attempt to equalize your energy principles or dedication. And let's be honest, if she's giving up before things even start, how do you believe this sentence will be used in the connection? Is frequently a warning sign that she either lacks the courage to make an investment in a significant connection, doesn't intend to try to equal the deference and consideration you provide, wants to maintain your presence in her life, but does not intend to return the favor. Here's the terrible reality of someone who thinks if it's too nice for them, it will either undermine the partnership or abandon you emotionally spent attempting to persuade them in any other way, and to the extent that you can wish to remind her that she's doing well. Enough. That's her job, not yours. Obligation to work through her. Don't try to repair your own insecurities. I'll offer you a scenario to think about. Consider yourself with someone, and it appears that everything is proceeding smoothly. She turns to you in the evening and says, You're really a wonderful man. Good for me. You may think she's acknowledging your worth, but in practice she is quietly formulating her escape plan. In reality, she's saying, I don't want to or are unable to surpass you, therefore don't. You can count on me to consider how this plays out. You begin to reassure her that you're flawless just the way you are. And the dynamic abruptly changes at this moment. Rather than forming a collaboration, you're seeking her approval and attempting to show her what's already clear. Although you're a fantastic catch, the reality is that if she genuinely thought you were too talented, she would either rise to your expectations or gracefully let you go. A woman who utilizes this expression, either emotionally not available or attempting to absolve her of her guilt for failing to return the favor, as well remaining only results in exasperation. What should I do? Say something strongly but gently, like I won't if that's how you feel. Keep you back and demonstrate to her that you're not here to accept a lackluster interest or lost. The main line is that insecurities are a self-assured, valuable man doesn't spend time demonstrating his value to a person who already understands but refuses to take charge and show yourself enough respect to, when the situation calls for it, leave. That was something my ex was better at. My ex was more skilled at 3 than a few. Remarks that go beyond this one when, according to a woman, my ex was more skilled at it. It's not merely a remark, it's this phrase is more than just a slap in the face. Then compare you to someone else. It minimizes your efforts and individuality and your worth in the let's dissect this relationship, please. A man desires to feel as though he lives in the shadow of another man when you're being compared to her ex all the time. It's not only rude, but also emotionally taxing, resulting in an implicit demand that you compete with a non-essential person, or at the very least, this kind of statement is frequently made by someone who is not entirely over their previous partnership. Because let's face it, why should you have to bear the burdens of a partnership? If she's still with you, you weren't even involved. Hung up on her former partner till she, making analogies vocally, is a blatant indication. She lacks the emotional capacity to provide the regard and consideration you deserve, to consider how she would feel, as though the roles were flipped if you said in passing that my ex used to cook in this manner, and it was superior to would hurt and cause her to feel underappreciated, unappreciated, and as though she's not enough, although some individuals believe it's okay to hold you to the norm of a person they have already abandoned. This is about more than simply her ex. Respect healthy boundaries, and looking is not a part of a relationship. It's about creating something backward, new together. If she's concentrating on what she's not the best, someone else did, centered about you, and let's be honest, you should have someone who is Alin, not someone. When a lady is locked in the past, raises her ex in this manner, which is likewise an indication of emotional immaturity, rather than honoring your individuality, she's holding on to what she had and allowing me to, if she is unable to, tell you something. Value the gift she possesses without having a business as part of your future. A self-respecting guy never settles for serving as a backup plan or, worse, representing someone else in the event that her ex is. She was still released by the benchmark she uses, returning to him as you proceed to someone who genuinely appreciates you for who you are. You must show me who you are, must demonstrate your worth to me. There is no doubt that a relationship isn't a display, and you're not a competitor attempting to win something. When a woman reveals, "You must demonstrate your worth to me," she is establishing a relationship that is utterly out of balance and blatantly poisonous. It's a power play disguised as a demand for work, and if you're fooled, you'll jump all through your relationship, going to great lengths to get her approval. But this is what a high-value man actually does. Not need to convince anyone that your value is not based on how many tests or how hard you try. You pass in order to gain her approval. But when males hear these remarks, they fall for the bait and believe she's worth it. I simply have to let her know I'm the one who's awake. This isn't regarding compatibility or love. It's about authority. When a female makes this statement, her true meaning is, you must change because you are insufficient as is. Go out of your way to fulfill my. This critique isn't about standards, encouraging you to improve. It's about maintaining you in a condition of demonstrating that you are pursuing and doubting your own worth. And let's face it, why are they so? Many men are willing to put up with this because it's since they've been trained to believe that you have to earn love. Men are frequently told by society to place women on pedestals, must put in endless effort to earn their love. But here's the reality. Proving oneself is not the goal of true love. It's about respect for one another, work, and compatibility in the event that you're in a connection in which you're continuously being told to take a step to show oneself, return and inquire as to what she is demonstrating to me. A good friendship requires reciprocity. This is not a one-man race. Hence, the guidance is easy yet effective. Don't try out for you. Don't have to prove yourself to love someone. Someone who genuinely recognizes your value isn't determined by how hard you work to succeed. It's time for her to awaken and understand that a woman who genuinely values you won't require you to take extra steps to remind her to pay attention. Relationships should empower you, not drain. Stop demonstrating, stop pursuing, and begin to distance yourself from everyone who does not see your worth without a demands list. You don't deserve me at my best if you can't handle me at my worst. If you can't handle me at my worst, give me a 5. You don't deserve my best effort right now. Phrase may initially seem empowering. Look, but let's examine it further when I'm at my worst, if you can't handle me, you're not worthy of my best self. Frequently used as a justification for harmful actions rather than acknowledging shortcomings and engaged in. This statement changes with self-improvement. The duty falls on you, the guy, to accept whatever mayhem she causes. Nobody's problem is your life. Flawless, and everyone experiences bad days. However, there is a significant distinction between experiencing a difficult circumstance and continuously being extremely difficult to use. This defense statement is a means of stating that I won't change, so you better deal with it, and let's be together. How fair is this to you, really? Relationships are about working together. Respect and development. If someone anticipates you to deal with their toughest situation without any, their lack of accountability is a warning flag. Signaling their lack of interest in a healthy collaboration, they're seeking someone to take up their poison instead of, if you want to grow with guys, you must stop putting up with this kind of thinking, as men tend to stay around too frequently, since they consider love to be enduring anything, even emotional or disrespectful manipulation. But consider why you should. You accept someone who makes use of their worst as a long-term crutch, rather than trying their hardest. And now, here's the warning sign. If a lady genuinely respects you and cherishes the bond, she won't use her shortcomings or negative actions against you, rather than recognize her flaws and take action to endeavor to make improvements, not for you, but for the truth about herself and the relationship. People frequently use this phrase, who wish to defend their refusal to develop, and allow me to introduce you to a woman who declines to improve herself, is not someone with whom you hope to create a future. Being a valuable man, you're not here to deal with anyone's worst situation. You are here to create a meaningful relationship with someone who takes you by the reins. This term should not be used to accepting what you know in your heart is. When you hear it, it's unacceptable. Value, then leave with your head held. Hi, gentlemen, this is the harsh reality. In conclusion, continuing to be in a partnership where the normalization of harmful language will suffice. Nothing but ruin your self-worth. You are worthy of more than just being second, someone's emotional punching bag selection, or perpetual fixer. Let's not mince words. If a female is utilizing these declarations, it's not only her words that are detrimental, it's a destructive worldview of hers. Mentality cannot create a healthy relationship, but this is the contentious turn. As soon as you step dismissing, the same woman who treated you disrespectfully will frequently understand what she lost and why. Because guys who are aware of their worth are uncommon, the lack of your regard and effort will be more powerful than any argument that I would like to hear immediately. Have you ever been in a situation where circumstance in which a woman spoke that caused you to doubt your value, your narrative in the space provided below, and I'll go over them yourself, because this consists of a community rather than merely a video. Let's interact, exchange, and support one another. Develop into guys who are respectful and return it. But keep in mind that you're not. You're here to be tolerated, not to be. When there is a lack of respect, valued people leave. And observe the changes in your life.